Hello everyone, my name is Zul from Tengku Game Design, and today I'm gonna talk about a video game that my team and I designed. And the name of the game is Legend of the Zora Dungeon. So let's get started. So, Legend of the Zora Dungeon is a 2D role-playing video game with a cartoony art style reminiscent of 8-bit pixel video game era. Player will take control of the character in a third-person view through an overhead or top-down perspective. The video game takes place in a dungeon named the Zora Dungeon, located in a mysterious unnamed island. Player will take on the quest to find the legendary treasures hidden somewhere in the Zora Dungeon while braving through horde of monsters standing in the player's ways. The story begins with the character found an old tattered book that describes a mysterious island that hides massive amount of fortunes and treasures. Intrigued, the character sails away to the island to find said hidden fortunes and treasures. Unfortunately, while exploring the island, the character falls into the very dungeon of Zora and fainted. As the character wakes up from the coma, the character will find that he or she is in the Zora dungeon. Player takes control of the character and must find a way to get out of the dungeon. Along the way, player realizes that the fortunes and treasures said to be on the island are hidden away in the dungeon, and it is up to the player to discover it all. The main character is a nameless boy or a girl. It is up to the player to choose a name and gender for the character. The player will start at level 1 and will level up as the player gains experience from killing monsters. As player leveling up, player will be able to unlock skill moves at certain levels. Skill moves are powerful abilities that grant players with benefits ranging from special attack to buff and debuff. Player will also have access to weapons and items. In the beginning of the game, player will find a short dagger in a treasure chest in front of them, and as the game progresses, player will be able to further upgrade their weapons into stronger version by using coins obtained from fallen enemies. Items are usable objects that player can pick up from the treasure chest and store them in the inventory. Items will give player with beneficial effect. For example, a potion will heal player when used. The opponents in the game are hostile, non-playable characters that are designed to look like monsters to give players the feeling of being in a foreign and fantasy world. Enemies are placed around on the map and will attack the player if player come close to them. Player will battle the enemies directly on the map in a real-time fashion without having to cut away to a battle screen or wait for their turn like in a turn-based video game. Player will encounter the boss of the floor at the end of each level. Each boss has a unique strength and weaknesses and require player to plan ahead with their skills and weapons to defeat them. The dungeon is divided into several floors, with each floor having their own boss and puzzle to solve. Each floor is then divided into several rooms that are connected to each other. In the last room, there is a portal that will bring player to the next floor. The last room is behind a locked door and can only be opened when the player manages to find the key to the door. In order for player to move to the next floor, player has to solve a puzzle to get the key to the last room. Player will encounter the main menu when the game is launched. Here, player has the option to start a new game, load a save file, change the game settings, or exit the game. When player is in the game, player can access the inventory menu to see the character's statistics and manage their inventory. Player can equip weapons and upgrade them, equip skills and use items from this menu. In certain locations on the map, player will have access to knight statue that function as a checkpoint. Here, player can access the save menu where player can save their progress or load progress from a save file. Player will be introduced to the game controls in the tutorial level of the game. Player control the movement of the character by using the WASD keys on the keyboard. Player can attack the monsters by pressing the D button on the keyboard. Access the map with the A key, access the inventory menu with the W key, and use the Z key to use the equip skill. The interaction in the game is done by pointing and left clicking with the mouse. The controls in the game are efficient and simple. Plus, player can change the key binding in the option menu. As the game takes place in a dungeon, the game uses a moody background music to give the player a feeling of eerie and mysteriousness when playing the game. The game also utilizes bright and cheery music at certain part of the game, such as after a victory over enemies and after acquiring new skills, to give the player a feeling of achievement. The monsters produce sounds that make them sound scary to intimidate the player, while the background sounds such as footsteps and doors are utilized to mimic the feeling of being and exploring in a mysterious dungeon. The Legend of Zora Dungeon is a fast-paced video game as it makes use of real-time battle, so the overall experience is quick and fun. The character design from the main character to the enemy design is bright and quirky, as the game is aimed for young children, so it is pleasing on the eye. And lastly, the mechanics of the game are simple yet challenging, as the game balances out the skill curve and the enemy difficulty nicely. So that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe in order to get notification from us, and do wait for the release of The Legend of Zora Dungeon. Bye!